and welcome back to my channel. It is really strange to be sitting here filming. First off, I'm no longer in Florida. I have moved back to Canada. I'm back in Ontario. I moved back into my parents' house after not living here for 3 years, which has been really strange and a huge adjustment. And today we are going to be organizing all of my bookshelves. So as you can see behind me, I have a little bit of bookshelf space going on. It is a disaster currently. There is stuff everywhere. There are books everywhere. I'm a trinket person for sure, so I love keeping little trinkets on my bookshelves. Everything is just kind of thrown on there. You can see I attempted at first to create something really nice and aesthetic, and then it just kind of fell apart. On top of that, I also have the gallery wall that is above my bed. Now this is not finished and my bed does not look the best, so bear with me. I do have some floating bookshelves. My gallery wall is always one of my favorite parts of my room, and I want to organize my bookshelves on there too, the 3 floating bookshelves that I do have on there. Whether you are new here or a returning subscriber, I have posted a ton of Disney videos in the past. That's what I've been essentially doing for the last however many years, but I really have been loving book videos and I've been loving them over the last year. I've slowly been integrating that into my content, and that is definitely something I want to continue doing, if not making it fully book content. Of course, I'm still a Disney fan. I just cannot see myself visiting Disney World for a very long time, unfortunately. But you will definitely see in this video a lot of my Disney memorabilia, trinkets, stuff from when I was working, all of that, and I am really excited to share that with you as well. The book I am currently reading is Lease on Love. This is a romance book that came out a while ago. Like, it was always on my Goodreads TBR. I recently found a copy on Book Outlet for $5, so I picked it up. I'm only a little bit in, but I've really been loving it so far. It's about this girl, Sadie, who loses her job. She goes out drinking with her friends to kind of cope with it all, thinks that she is making a date on a dating app, when in reality what she's doing is making a meeting with someone on a roommate finding app. So I'm at the part right now where she meets this guy in a cafe and she thinks it's a date, where in reality it is not. It is him trying to find a roommate, and then she's like, oh well, I guess I could be trying to find a new place to live. And he's like, let me show you the house. And the house is really awesome and cool. So that's where I'm at. I'm literally only 43 pages in, and everything I just said is on the back cover, but it is a book that captured my attention immediately. 43 pages. That was one sit down before I went to bed and read that. So I'm actually going to be listening to the audiobook of this while I organize my shelves. Off the shelves. I've tried to sort it the best I can. I was trying to all sort it on the desk, but it did not fit there, so I moved it onto the bed a little bit, and all the books are here. I think step 1 with the books is I need to sort them. I want to sort them into my TBR, into different genres, into what I want to display where, all of that kind of stuff. I might move some of the Taylor Swift stuff around a little bit. I had it all just like on this littler shelf here, but I don't know if I want to keep it that way or like integrate more books and like have them flow. However, we'll figure that out. For the actual shelves themselves, this is not a Billy bookcase, but it looks like a Billy bookcase. It's just from Walmart. It was only $54, I think, so a lot cheaper than a Billy bookcase. And then these are little white cabinets that I've had forever. They're quite dirty, to be honest. I've cleaned them up the best I can, but they're probably like 20 years old at this point. It is what it is. I took the doors off. They used to be door cabinets. I took the doors off and then stacked them on top of each other, and we're just using them as shelves like that. Kept the stuff at the top there because frankly I don't know where else to put it, and I think it's just gonna end up back there anyway. I don't want to have a huge physical bookshelf. I do like to sell a lot of the books. If I know I'm never gonna read it again, honestly, I don't like to keep it, or if I like don't like the book, I don't feel I need to keep it, so I either sell it or I just give them away, because I just don't feel the need to do that. I also read a lot on my Kindle, so the books I have here in physical copies are pretty much all my favorites or TBRs. I've been buying a lot from Book Outlet recently. My old bookshelf was like a rainbow bookshelf, but it was just two like really long shelves, so I feel like it worked better for that. This I don't think is going to work as well for that, so I think I'm just going to sort them. Like I have my Emily Henry books here. I got Ali Hazelwood, I'll put a spot for that. Elena Armas, I'll put another spot for that because I have a few of her books, and try to sort them that way, and then also by genre at the same time. So with the floating shelves, you have to have a hardcover on the bottom for them to like sit properly, otherwise they just fall and it's not good. So I have all my hardcovers here because I feel like if I put the stuff on the floating shelves first, then I can organize the rest. So I'm definitely using, I have a book of Milton poems. I don't really read it, I just love it. I got it, I thrifted it years ago. It has just like gold pages. It's honestly just stunning. So I want to put that on the wall for sure. And then I don't like hardcovers, so I don't get a lot of them. The only hardcovers that I like haven't read, or have read, sorry, I have Practical Magic, which honestly that could be a good one for like a witchy kind of shelf. And then I don't want to put Funny Story up there just because I want to keep that with my Emily Henry books and I want that to be in the background of my videos. So we're not going to do that. So I do have some like TBR ones. These are all TBR hardcover, and I think all but two are from Book Outlet, because like I said, I've been obsessed with Book Outlet recently. I might do like a rom-com. I do want to read this one somewhat soon, which is the only reason I'd be like tempted not to put it up there, but it kind of matches with these, and then that way I can put like, do like a random like literary classics or something shelf on the book wall. I can do like a witchy one, and then I could do a rom-com one as well. I'm going to do everyone a different color. I'll put some of my favorites that are not part of series up there. Well, yellow, blue, and then maybe a pink one. Also, I'm getting very interested in this audiobook. Sadie has now moved into the house. She got a bartending gig and found out that he doesn't have a job at all. He's literally so rich, it's insane. So that's the conversation they are having right now. I'm very, very into it. We're on chapter, I believe we're in the middle of chapter 5 right now. Chapter 6. Figure out what to do with all of my shelves because honestly there are just so many of them and I want to display them, but I don't want them to get broken or be like hidden or anything, and I think displaying them around my Emily Henry books and just like my favorite romances. I have It Happened One Summer, Hook, Line, Sinker, all of those. I feel like that's kind of the vibe because a lot of those are very summery, beachy books. I just kind of got to figure out how I want to lay all of them out. Okay, now we have the final step. So this is my TBR cart. It is just the rolling cart from IKEA that I feel like every person on YouTube, BookTube, Book Talk, whatever has ever. I adore it. I used to use this as my nightstand, but I recently got a new nightstand, so now it is going to be my TBR cart. I do have a couple things on it right now. I just have my big Mickey Munchling. I have a little plushie from when I went swimming with manatees, and then I have my little change bank thing here. I don't know how to leave these things on if there's space. I do have quite a few books on my TBR. I'm not gonna lie, it is growing quite extensive, so I'm currently on a little bit of a book buying ban until I get through some of it. So I think we're gonna try to sort it by, I don't know, genre maybe, or potentially book size, because some of the books are quite large and are only gonna fit on the top shelf here. And we did it. Like I said, I have a ton of trinkets, so a lot of putting together these shelves was putting like my little trinkety things together in a way that looked nice, organized. I did also get rid of some of the things that were a little more immature. I turned my Disney pins into a Disney pin board off to the side here with some Polaroids, lots of different things. And then of course my TBR cart. I love the way the TBR cart turned out. That's actually one of my favorite things, and I thought that was going to be a complete disaster, so that was a really nice surprise. But I do have both my cabinets done, the bookshelf and the cart as well done. Of course there's still some things I want to fix up in my room, but let me show you all the finished bookshelves. Starting with my TBR cart over to the side here, I do have it right beside my little white nightstand, and it kind of works out perfectly, and it fit all my books, my TBR books on it perfectly. So up top here I do have my cinnamon roll Mickey munchling. Then I do have a couple books here. These are my larger hardcover books that just didn't fit well anywhere else. So I have The Bone Season, The Daughter of Dr. Morrow, Argyle, and The Club. And then the next row down I have like fictional books, thrillers, horror, all that stuff. And I don't have too many of those because that's not really what I read a lot of. But I have The Siren. I read The Lion's Den, which was one of my favorite books ever, so I'm really excited to read that. Back in a Spell, I have a Stephen King novel, Fairy Tale, Caraval, which I did DNF, to be completely honest, but I put it back on my TBR just because everyone loves it. I want to give it another solid try. I feel like I was just not in the mood for it. I have Daisy Jones and the Six, The Dictionary of Lost Words, and Before the Coffee Gets Cold. On the bottom down here, I then just have my little Squishmallow. I have my Abby Mendez books. I've never read anything from her before, so I'm very excited to try out her books, but I got Part of Your World, and I also have Just for the Summer. The second one I did not get, so the Part of Your World's the first one, Just for the Summer is the third one. The second one's on Kindle Unlimited randomly, so I did not buy that one. Mixed Signals, Lunar Love, and then Red String Theory, Night Shift, Last Chance Library, and Raiders of the Lost Heart. I then have The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie and Till There Was You. So that is my rom-com shelf. I have these ones pushed forward because I actually have a power bar back there, which works out really, really well for hiding that. We can just start at the bottom on the actual shelves then and work our way up. So I just have my big round reading chair from Walmart, which I was able to pull out. I love this because it is collapsible, so it can just fit wherever in my room. I had this in my apartment when I was away for college, and I adored it so much. So I have that. I have my big giraffe Squishmallow and just a pink blanket on there. We'll move that out of the way for now so we can get at all of this. So on the bottom shelf, just starting on the left here, I have my little teacup from Once Upon a Time. I forget what these things are called, but it has scent to it at one point. Jacob's Ladder. This is from Pop Century, and then this bin here just has my magic bands and such in it. And then I just have a Disney Resort mug. As for books, these are my nonfiction book. Just a bunch of nonfiction books that I've read. Honestly, I don't know if I'll end up keeping them or if I'll end up giving them away, whatever, because it's just, I don't really read nonfiction anymore. I then just have some Disney VHS tapes and some books from when I was a child, and then also some like photo books from like Shutterfly and stuff, and then the Disney book just has a lot of like, I don't know, movie behind the scenes stuff in it. And then over here, of course, I have all my records. These are pretty much all Taylor Swift records. I have everything in order from debut up until 1989 Taylor's version. I do not have a Tortured Poets record yet, but I have all the in-betweens. I have all the folklore variants, all of the previous versions, and then all of the Taylor's versions ones as well. And then I also just have some magazines. So I have, of course, like my Reputation magazines and such. As for the second shelf, I don't have a lot of books on this one either. The books would start getting more as you go up. So I do have my Wish Cup, and this like lights up if I wanted to do that. It has a little, it'll be more obvious in the dark, but it has a little constellation, which I thought would be really cool on the inside of the shelves. And then I do have all of my Christmas books here, my seasonal books. So I have the Book Club Hotel, The Santa Suit, Bright Lights, Big Christmas by Mary Kay Andrews, Love Light Farms, Just Like Magic, The Mistletoe Motive, Love Holly, and then one of my favorite Christmas books, Lucy Score, The Christmas Fix, and then All Is Bright. So I have those there, and then I just have a couple little Disney things here. I have my 1989. I fell victim to the 1989 viewfinder, so I have that in the box there. My little beaker thing, some wishables there, and then I met Cast Candids, which is like a fun Instagram account when I was in Florida, and they gave me that, so I have that as well. And then a little Polaroid of my cat Cody. I also have my AMC Taylor Swift popcorn bucket and all of my different Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie cups stacked in here. I have a couple different ones that I didn't really know where to put them, so I feel like it's just a nice little Taylor Swift stack there. I just have a bin of random junk here, and then all of my Taylor Swift CDs there as well. I specifically made the next two shelves my absolute favorites because I know they're going to be what's in the background of my videos the most. So this is kind of like my beachy summery shelf. Just starting over here, I have this little fake plant that also lights up. It's kind of fun. I have this from the Flower and Garden Festival, and I just put all my seashells in it that I found at Vero Beach in Florida in there. I have my Vero Beach pin. I have a couple shark's teeth, which is really cool. Some other little trinkety things. I have a Christmas ornament for Portalene's French Quarter, a photo of me and my friend Sadie when we were in Florida together, Bath & Body Works candle, bunch of different stuff. Book-wise, I have The Long Game by Elena Armas, The Spanish Love Deception. I then have my Ali Hazelwood books. I'm really only a fan of her Women in STEM series. I really did like Check and Mate, but I ended up selling my copy of, oh, what was it even called? I just sold it. Not in Love. That one, I really did not like that book. So I have Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, Love Theoretically. I then have my Emily Henry area, so I have Funny Story, I have Beach Read, People We Met on Vacation, and Book Lovers. I have Happy Place on my Kindle. Honestly, I didn't really like Happy Place, so I did not purchase it. And then I have Hook, Line, Sinker, It Happened One Summer. I have the fine print, and if you are a Disney fan and have not read this, go read this. It's a 3-book series. So this is the first one. They're actually all on Kindle Unlimited, but I purchased this one before I had Kindle Unlimited, so I read the other two on there. So these three brothers, their grandfather passes away, and their grandfather owned what is pretty much like it's pretty much like their grandfather owned Disney, essentially. To get their inheritance, each of the three brothers has to go on a mission and accomplish a task. Very large tasks, obviously. So the first book is all centered around Dreamland, just like Disney World, and the similarities are amazing. So if you are a Disney World fan, highly recommend checking out The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. And then over to this side, I just have a little bin. I have my Flower and Garden wine mug for my planter, and then some Taylor Swift things. So over here I have Hotel Magnifique, which is a Moonshine Manor, and The Lost Apothecary. This shelf has a little bit of everything on it. It mainly starts with just standalone rom-com books, and then I do have my one fantasy book and my one YA fantasy book that I have, and then some other stuff as well. But as for the decorations, I have it all centered around my time in Disney this past year with Epcot, the Cultural Representative Program, and Canada stuff. So I have my little Epcot ball, my little Chateau Le Cellier Christmas ornament, which is where I worked at Disney. I have my name tags. I have an empty Food and Wine festival glass from 2022. I need to get a plant to put in this still, but I don't have one right now, so it's just sitting there. My Disney trainer pin, little thing I got from the Mexico Pavilion, my jewelry stand with Spaceship Earth, my Canada Vinylmation, and then I have the glass we got at New Year's, and I just put all my pin backs in it, and then any little trinkets that guests gave me. Of course, I have my ducks collection. At Disney, there are many guests who come around and they call it getting ducked, and they hand you ducks. So that's what my ducks are from. A couple wishables, my Wally Funko Pop, and then one of my older name tags as well. I have Just Last Night, Practice Makes Perfect, which I really did enjoy. One of my favorite romance novels of all time, The Hating Game, Canadian Boyfriend, which was another really good one, How to Love Your Neighbor, not one of my favorites, but is sticking around on the shelf, The Roughest Draft, Summer Reading. I actually hated this book. I have it for sale on Facebook Marketplace right now. No one just wants it. I just found it really difficult to read. I did not like the storyline. Nothing about it was appealing to me. The Nanny, The Breakup Tour, both of those really good ones. The Rewind, also was not a fan of that one and have it on Facebook Marketplace right now. Love and Other Flight Delays, The Lion's Den. Like I said, that is one of my favorite books of all time. I wasn't expecting the plot twist. I really enjoyed it. I have Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins, and good-ish mystery book. Of course, I have ACOTAR. I only have the first one. The rest I all read on my Kindle. So eventually I would love to have all physical copies of that because I will definitely be rereading that series again. But right now it's just not in the budget. The Inheritance Games, I have the first one, the rest on my Kindle. I have Hello Summer by Mary Kay Andrews, Sense and Sensibility, and then Pride and Prejudice just off in the side here. I've then just organized this part here to have my Taylor Swift Little Golden book, a elemental ornament that I have, my dying snake plant, another Taylor Swift popcorn bucket, and then I have my Lover discs, and then also the 1989 special editions. My tripod doesn't actually go any taller than this to fully be able to show you the top shelf, but I call this my Star Wars shelf. Some memorabilia from Star Wars, and then also when I worked in Hollywood Studios in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge there. So I do have my Darth Vader planter, and then my Disney 50th anniversary name tag. I have my Hollywood Studios jewelry dish matching my Epcot one. I have some random stones. During the pandemic, I was like, I'm gonna get a mystery box of like a witchy mystery box. It came with a whole bunch of stones, so I just have those sitting there. Sticker guest gave me, name tag, another gemstone. This is also from the Mexico Pavilion. I have my Star Wars wishables, so I have Hondo, R5, the Falcon, a Porg, and then I also just have my little die-cast Millennium Falcon there. Over here I just have some DVDs of Halloween movies. I have my Disney Programs memory box, some tarot cards, and then all just Star Wars stuff. My name tag, Catcher in the Rye, The Halloween Tree, Winnie the Pooh, 1984, Wuthering Heights, my F. Scott Fitzgerald books, and then Fahrenheit 451. On this side, I just have another wine glass I need to fill, another bin, lessons in chemistry, and The Secret Life of Addie LaRue, or The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, whatever it's called. And then up top, I just have trinkety stuff. I have my aloe plant, jewelry box, Taylor Swift popcorn bucket, earrings, and then more just Disney stuff up there. Those are my finished bookshelves. I love the way they turned out. Like I said, I am so excited to just sit in my comfy reading chair here now and open my book. That might be what I do now that I'm all done, I think, for the day, honestly. Maybe I'll watch some YouTube videos, who knows, but I'm really enjoying this setup. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.